Here we go. This is the Bard, the whimsical minstrel of the Final Fantasy series. Debuting in Final Fantasy III, the Bard has made infrequent appearances throughout the main numbered titles of the series. In Final Fantasy XIV, the Bard plays the role of the musical archer, able to help its allies with inspiring songs while harming enemies with their arrows and the power of their mystical music. To become a Bard, an adventurer must first train with the Archer Guild in Gridania. One cannot hope to string a harp without first knowing how to string a bow, apparently. Anyway, let me start off by highlighting some of the Bard's offensive weapon skills and abilities, specifically the ones that aren't only straightforward attacks. This is Heavy Shot, the Bard's standard go-to attack. In addition to dealing damage, every Heavy Shot has a 20% chance of proccing the effect Straighter Shot, which has two different effects a Bard can choose between. The first option relates to the weapon skill Straight Shot, an attack that also increases the Bard's critical hit chance by 10%. The duration of Straight Shot can be tracked by this gauge here. Under the Straighter Shot effect, the next Straight Shot used is guaranteed to critically hit, should it hit the target. The Straighter Shot effect is consumed in the process. The second option is available when the Bard acquires Refulgent Arrow, the powerful level 70 weapon skill that can only ever be used when under the Straighter Shot effect. As with the first option, the Straighter Shot effect is consumed when Refulgent Arrow is used. Venomous Bite afflicts the target with a damage over time effect. At level 64, this weapon skill becomes Caustic Bite, gaining higher potency and a longer duration. Similarly, Wind Bite afflicts the target with a wind damage over time effect. This also upgrades to a new skill, Storm Bite, at level 64, which has a higher potency and duration as well. Related to these 4 bites is Iron Jaws, learned at level 56. Iron Jaws deals damage to the target while also reapplying any of the bite effects currently afflicting the target, refreshing their durations. One more bite-related attack is Sidewinder, learned at level 60, which deals more damage when any one type of the bite effects is afflicting the target, or even more when the target is suffering from both types of bites. Onward to our next skill, Imperial Arrow. Learned at level 54, Imperial Arrow is a strong instant weapon skill with a recast timer. Aside from doing damage, Imperial Arrow has an additional effect related to the subject of our next segment, the Bard Songs. The Bard has access to 3 different Bard songs, with only 1 Bard song allowed to be active at a time. While active, each Bard song increases the critical hit rate of all party members within range by 2%. In addition to this, while a song is active, the Bard can generate its job-specific resource, Repertoire, whenever Venomous Bite, Caustic Bite, Wind Bite, or Storm Bite deal critical damage over time. With the enhanced Imperial Arrow trait at level 68, using Imperial Arrow also gains 1 stack of Repertoire. To keep track of Repertoire, as well as the duration remaining for the currently active song, keep an eye on this Bard song gauge. Now, let's go over the effects of Repertoire on the 3 different Bard songs. This is Mage's Ballad, learned at level 30. Every time Repertoire is gained, 2 specific abilities are instantly refreshed. The first is Bloodletter, potent single target attack. It has a 15-second recast timer that it shares with the second ability, Reign of Death. Reign of Death is an AoE attack on a target and all foes near it. When Repertoire refreshes these skills, you will see the Mage's Ballad gauge flash, so keep an eye out for this in order to use either of these 2 skills as soon as they are ready. The next song is Army's Paean, learned at level 40. Whenever Repertoire is gained while this song is active, the Bard gains a 4% boost to its attack rate. This effect can stack up to 4 times. You can track how many stacks you have on the Army's Paean gauge. The last song is the Wanderers Minuet, learned at level 52. Gaining at least 1 stack of Repertoire under this song's effect allows the use of Pitch Perfect, an attack ability with a potency that increases with the amount of Repertoire stacks currently held. While any of these 3 songs are active, there are 2 additional abilities that become available for use. The first is Battle Voice, learned at level 50. Battle Voice increases the direct hit rate of all party members by 15% for 20 seconds. Just like the critical hit rate buff effect of the song, the Battle Voice effect only affects the bard's party members and not itself. The second ability is Troubadour, an ability that can grant a 15% increase to maximum HP under the effects of Mage's Ballad, a 10% increase to physical damage resistance under Army's Paean, or a 10% increase to magical damage resistance under Wanderers Minuet to the bard and all its party members. And now, I would like to show you the opener I personally use. I will first demonstrate how it looks like, and will follow up with an explanation of what I did. Here we go. Okay, now to explain what I did. I first cast Full Requiem to cause enemies to take 3% more damage. I weave in Refresh to increase my MP regeneration, extending Full Requiem's duration. Next, I use Stormbite to set up some damage over time on my target. I weave in Bloodletter to deal extra damage, and also Raging Strikes to temporarily buff my damage output. I then use Caustic Bite to set up another dot on my target. I weave in both the Wanderers Minuet as well as Battle Voice to buff my party's direct hit rate. Next, I use Straight Shot to boost my own critical hit rate. I weave in Imperial Arrow to deal some extra damage. Finally, I refresh my dots with Iron Jaws, weaving in Sidewinder to deal good damage. From here on, I will be primarily using Heavy Shot while using any procs and abilities that come off of cooldown whenever I can. Just a few things to note. I save Barrage, the ability that triples the amount of hits of the next weapon skill used, to use with Refulgent Arrow, unless Imperial Arrow finishes its cooldown before then, in which case I use it on Imperial Arrow. I also try to hold off on using Pitch Perfect until whenever I have the maximum 3 repertoire stacks to maximize damage. That is, unless the duration of the Wanderers Minuet is about to run out, in which case I use Pitch Perfect right before it expires. When it comes time to refresh Straight Shot and my dots, I reapply them when I have about 5 seconds left for each of them. Last thing to note, when dealing with a boss, your song rotation should be the Wanderers Minuet, followed by Mage's Ballad, then finally Army's Paean, repeating in that order. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did and would like to see more content like this, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to my channel. Your support would be very much appreciated. Also, Happy New Year! I wish you have a great start to the year 2019. Thank you again for watching, and as always, please take care. See you next time!